What's going on, guys? Emil Jones here, back at it, and we're here with another NFL weekly predictions. And this time, we'll be doing our weekly predictions for week 2 coming up. So last week I went 7-9, which I did really bad last week, but that's okay. So yeah, so we're gonna get things started. So yeah. So don't forget to make sure to like and subscribe to my channel and comment down your opinion below to see who you think's gonna win. So let's get started. So I chose Washington to win 26-24, and they won. So yeah. Without that being said, we're gonna get it started. Okay. So we have the New England Patriots kicking off the New York Jets. Patrons are favored by 6.5. I'm gonna make this one short though, but you know what? It's gonna be two rookie quarterbacks playing against each other, which is so fun to see. But I'm gonna go with the Patrons here because I just think the Patrons are the better team. They have the better coaching staff, and also this is Bill Belichick facing against a rookie quarterback, which he often threatens and thrives in, which he confuses a rookie quarterback. So yeah. So I'm going to pick the Patriots to win. I'm going to say 24-20, like a much closer game. But I'm going to take the Jets to win. I'm going to take the Patriots to win, but I might take the Jets to cover just in case if Zach Wilson plays good. So, yeah. Next game, Broncos versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Denver is favored by 6 points. You know what? I think this game can barely go either way, though, because it's Trevor Lawrence versus Teddy B. But you know what? We know what happened last week. We seen that Trevor Lawrence was not great last week. I mean, he played awful. And on the other side, the Broncos defense really played really well. They bullied the Giants, and they found a way to shut down Saquon. I mean, yeah, Teddy B was out there going nuts. But you know what? I mean, a rookie quarterback versus a great defense like Denver, I mean, that's just too much. I'm going to have to go with the Broncos here. I mean, I want to go with Jacksonville since they're at home but I'm going to go with the Broncos here because they are just more talented and they have the better coaching staff. So, yeah, I'm going to say Broncos win like 27-20, something like that. But I'm going to take the Broncos to win, but I'll also take the Broncos to cover. All right, next game, we have the Buffalo Bills versus Miami Dolphins. Bills are favored by 3.5. I think this game is going to be very interesting to see because this game can barely go either way because, the Bills are very explosive on offense. But the Dolphins, I mean, they have some studs, but they're really not explosive enough. I mean, when you look at the Dolphins last week, I mean, they played really great. But, the offensive line, I mean, they kept it close, but, the Patriots almost won. I mean, Miami tried to lose the game, but they didn't. But on the other side, Buffalo tried to win, but the Steelers came back, and won the game because, of the front seven and the pressure they was able to get on Josh Allen. So, yeah. But I think this game right here is going to be very close. But you know what? Miami can barely pull off an upset because they're at home. Because Miami in September is always hard to play at. But you know what? I'm going to take the Bills to bounce back this week because I don't believe Buffalo's going to start off 0-2. So, yeah. So, I'm going to say Bills win like 31-27, something like that. But I'm going to take the Bills to win, but I'll also take the 3.5. I mean, I think this game can be close, though, but I wouldn't be shocked if one of these two teams cover. You know what? I don't know who covered, but, I'm going to take the Dolphins to cover the 3.5, but I'll take the Bills to win. All right, next game we have the San Francisco 49ers versus the Philadelphia Eagles. San Francisco is favored by 3 points. But you know what? I'm going to make this one short, though, because we know both these two teams are coming off a win here. But you know what? The Eagles' offense really played really good, and they did show some promise in that game. I mean, we could keep this. I think this game might be a little closer, though. I mean, as long as Jalen Hurts plays really well. But you know what? I'm probably going to go with the Niners here because I feel like they're just a better team. They have the better coach. And I just really think that the Eagles' defense, I mean, they're really not great at stopping the run. I mean, yeah. But the 49ers offense, I mean, when you look at the 49ers offense, they can really play, they can really find a way to attack the Eagles' defense because the Eagles' defense, they're not great at stopping the pass. I mean, yeah, I mean, they're not great at attacking. So Brandon Ayuk, Debo Samuel, and George Kittle should have a big game. I mean, the Niners may not have a great run game without their starting run, Raheem Moister. So I don't even know how effective the run game is going to be. So I think Jimmy G should be able to attack this Eagles defense. So yeah, but I'll take the Niners to win. But I will take the 3 though because I think the Eagles could take it close. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take the Niners to cover. So I'm going to say Niners win like 30-20, something like that. So yeah, I'm going to take the Niners to win, but I'll take the Niners to cover. All right, next game. We have the LA Rams versus the Colts. Rams are favored by 3.5. Wow, this game is going to be very interesting, though, because, it's going to be Carson Wentz versus Matthew Stafford. But because we're going to go through this. Now, we seen that last year when Wentz was in Philly, the offensive line did struggle against that Rams defense. I mean, in order for the Colts to win this game, they're gonna have to block Aaron Donald. I mean, I don't really know if they're gonna be able to do that, but it could be tough to do. But you know what? I mean, the Colts did not really play well. I mean, the defense did not really play as well. But you know what? I think the Rams offense, I think they're capable of moving the ball consistently and and attacking, the defenders. And I think they can really do a good job running the ball as well. But you know what? I know this game's in Indy, but I'm gonna go with the Rams here because I just feel like the Rams are the better team, they have the better coach, and I believe they have the better quarterback. I mean, just trust me. I mean, Matthew Stafford is way much better than Carson Wentz. So yeah. So I'm probably gonna go ahead and take the Rams to win. But I'm gonna say Rams win like 34-24, something like that. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a blowout. But you know what? I think the Rams do have a great secondary, but we know T.Y. Hilton is still out. I mean, yeah. I think Jalen Ramsey's going to have to find somebody to cover, and Darius Williams is going to have somebody to cover because they're both good, really good cornerback duels. But you know what? I'm going to say the Rams win this game, but I'll take the Rams to cover. All right, next game, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Raiders here. So Steelers are favored by 6 points, by -6. But when you look at the matchup though, we really see how well the Raiders did last week. They did a really good job attacking the pressure, which Derek Carr really played really well in that game. But the Raiders really tried to lose, but they didn't. But on the other side, the Steelers, their defense played really well. I mean, they were giving the sacks allowed. I mean, their defense gave up a lot of points. But you know what? I mean, on the other side, the Raiders don't have a great offensive line. I mean, the Raiders' defense is okay, but it's not that special. But you know what? I think this game could be offensive. But you know what? I think it's going to be a little bit closer. But I'm going to go with the Steelers here because the Steelers are the better team. They have the better quarterback. I mean, they have the better coach and they're at home. So, yeah. That's why I think the Steelers will win. But I'm going to say Steelers win like 27-20. So, yeah. But I'm going to say the Steelers can win, but I will take the 6, though, because I think they could keep this game close. But you know what? I feel like they will because the Raiders' offense really played great last week. I mean, yeah. And the Steelers played really good. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take the Raiders to cover the 6, but I'm probably going to go ahead and take the Steelers to win the game. All right, next game, we have the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Chicago Bears. The Bears are favored by 1.5. But you know what? I'm going to get to this game now. This game can barely go either way, though, because the Bears, their offensive line is still weak, but their defense is, it's okay, but not like special. While, on the other side, the Bengals offense really played really good. Like, it was going explosive. I mean, yeah, Joe Burrow did show some promise and did play very well. But you know what? I could go ahead and take the Bengals to win because, the Bears aren't really great at defending. Because, we could see Joe Mixon have a big game. We could see Jamar Chase have a big game. T. Higgins have a big game. Tyler Boyd. I mean, we could see this Bengals offense have a big game against that Bears defense. And we can also see that Bears defense having a big game against that Bengals offense. But you know what? In terms of the talent, I mean, we're trying to see which offense can score a lot of points. But you know what? I don't even know who's going to play quarterback for the Bears. I mean, should I really want to go with the Bengals then? This is a tough one. I mean, I call that a trap game. I mean, I really don't know. This is tough. I'm probably going to go ahead and go with the Bears here because they're at home. And also, they have the better coaching staff. And I just think they're just a better team. I mean, this could be the Andy Dalton revenge game. Now, if Andy Dalton plays well, then I think the Bears can win this game. But if if the defense starts to play well and then they slow down Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, and all the other weapons they got on offense, I mean, the Bears could be able to pull off this W. I mean, yeah, I'm probably gonna go ahead and pick the Bears to win, but I'm probably gonna take the 1.5 though because I think they can keep this game super close because I think Joe Burrow and the rest of his team is gonna try to fight for it. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if I have trust in the Bears, but I'm not taking them to cover because they played like trash last week. So yeah, so I'm not taking them to cover, but I'm gonna go ahead and say the Bengals do cover this game because you know how well they did last week. But I'm probably gonna say the Bears win like 20-17, like in a low scoring game. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the Bengals to cover the 1.5, but I'll take the Bears to win the game. All right, next game we have the Houston Texans versus the Cleveland Browns. Browns are favored by 13. I'm gonna keep this one short though, because we seen last week that Tyrod Taylor played really good and he torched the Jags defense. On the other side, the Browns offense did play really well, but they lost. But I'm gonna go ahead and take the Browns to win because they're the better better team, better coach. They have the better quarterback. I mean, yeah, that's why I think the Browns will win this game. So yeah, but I don't think it's gonna be close though because Tyrod Taylor is really not as great. So yeah, so I'm gonna say Browns win like 28-13, something like that. So yeah, so I'm gonna take the Browns to win, but I'll take the Browns to cover. All right, next game we have the New Orleans Saints versus the Carolina Panthers. The Saints are favored by 3.5. Now I kind of call it a trap game for some reason though, because Jameis Winston played really great last week, and so did Sam Darnold. But you know what? This is a tough one though. I don't really want to see Jameis Winston going 2-0 because Jameis Winston's really not that great. And so is Sam Darnold. That's why I didn't want both of them to go 2-0. Hmm. I want to go with the Panthers here because they're more healthier. But should I go ahead and take them? No. You know what? Maybe I'm gonna go ahead, and go with the Saints here because we seen how well the offensive line did. They protected Winston. They blocked, Kenny Clark and all the other guys. I mean, the yeah, the defense played really well though. They really found a way that they shut it down, the Packers offense. Yeah, their pass defense played excellent. Their run defense played really good. Yeah. I mean, I I really like what the Saints did last week. With Jameis throwing 5 touchdowns, yeah, that was awesome. But you know what? I'm probably gonna go ahead and take the Saints here because I mean, I really don't care about the Michael Thomas injury because without Michael Thomas, I didn't really think the Saints were gonna play good, and they still able to win and play really well. The Saints last week looked so organized. So yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and take the Saints here because I know this is in Carolina, but I'm taking the Saints because I just feel like they have the better coach, and I just think, I feel like they're just a better team. So I'm gonna take the Saints to win, but I will take the 3.5 though because I think they can keep this game close because both these two teams must have covered last week. But you know what? I'm probably gonna take the Panthers to cover this game because I think they are trying to fight for it. Be as long as Jameis Winston don't turn the ball over much. So yeah. So if long as Jameis Winston doesn't turn the ball over as much, so maybe the Saints come out a way to win. So I'm gonna say Saints win like 27-24, something like that. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Saints to win, and I'll take the Panthers to cover. All right, next game we have the Minnesota Vikings versus Arizona Cardinals. Um, Cardinals are favored by 3.5, but I call it a trap game for some reason because the Vikings lost last week and the Cardinals won last week. A lot of these teams got upset by the Bengals, and the Cardinals just Vikings got upset by the Bengals, and then the Titans got upset by the Cardinals. That's weird. But you know what? I think it can go either way though, because the Cardinals are not really great at home though. But you know what? I think this game will be super close and high scoring game. But you know what? I think Kyler Murray might have the abilities to thrive and attack this Vikings defense because the Vikings defense are very soft though, and they really can't defend. But you know what? I think this is the Patrick Peterson revenge game. So yeah. But I think in my Cardinals and Vikings video, I picked the Cardinals to win at home. But you know what? what? In order for the Cardinals to win this game, they're gonna have to come with a good game plan. They're gonna have to figure out, how effective they're gonna be able to run the ball against that Vikings defense. Maybe they can, and maybe they'll find a way how to pass the ball on them. Because we know Kyler Murray did play really well last week, throwing 5 touchdowns. But the defense played really well, though. I mean, Chandler Jones made a lot of sacks. But you know what? On the other side, the Vikings defense, it's okay, but not like special. But the offense is okay, though. I mean, with Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, Chris Herndon, and Dalvin Cook, yeah. But you know what? I mean, I want to go ahead and take the Cardinals to win, but I'm not going to say the Vikings are going to start off 0-2 because that's going to be crazy. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and give the Vikings one more chance to win this game. And if they do not win this game, I promise you I'll clown them and I will not pick them for several weeks. So yeah, so I'm going to take the Vikings to win, but I am not taking the Vikings to cover. Because we seen how bad they played last week. I mean, that was awful. But you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say the Cardinals. I'm gonna go ahead and say they win. I'm probably gonna take the Cardinals game. I'm probably gonna say the Cardinals are gonna cover the 3.5. So I think they do keep it much closer. But I'm gonna say Vikings win like 37-30, something like that. So yeah, so I'm gonna say the Cardinals will cover this game, but I will take the Vikings to win this game. I hope the Vikings offense has a good game this week. And all right, next game we have the Atlanta Falcons versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay is favored by 12.5. You know what? I'm gonna take this one short though, because who I'm gonna be picking because we seen what the Bucs offense did last week. I mean, the Bucs offense kind of struggled a little bit, but the defense wasn't even playing that great last week against the Cowboys, and they still won. While on the other side, the Falcons did a lot worse. I mean, Matt Ryan looked very awful in this game. But you know what? I think this game right here is going to be very interesting. But I'm going to take Tampa to win because they're the better team. They have a better quarterback, a better coach. They're at home. So yeah, so I'll take the Bucs to win, but I will take the Bucs to cover. I'm gonna say Bucks win like 35, like 17, something like that. So yeah. So I will take the Bucks to win, but I'll take the Bucks to cover. All right, next game. We have the Tennessee Titans versus Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks are favored by 6.5. You know what? This game right here is gonna be very interesting though, because I think it can go either way though, because both these two teams, are very similar. They both have similar offenses, but their defenses are a little sketchy, but you know what? I want to go with I almost call it a trap game for some reason because the Titans lost last week. I mean, yeah, I want to expect them to bounce back, but I don't know. But you know what? I kind of feel like DK and Metcalf and Tyler Lockett might be tough to defend. So yeah, but I don't really think Seattle has much of a pass rush to slow down Derrick Henry. So yeah. Well, we can see Tennessee win this game, but I'm going to go with the Seahawks here because they have the better quarterback, the better coach, they're at home, and I just think they're just a better team overall. So, yeah. So, I'm going to go ahead and take the Seahawks to win, but I will take the 6.5, though. You know what? I'm not going to go ahead and take the Titans to cover because how bad they played last week. I mean, their offensive line got bullied by the Cardinals. I mean, that's worse. I mean, they got ran over by Kyler Murray. I mean, yeah. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take the Seahawks to win, like 26-23, something like that, a much closer game. So, I'm going to go ahead and take the Seahawks to win, but I'll take the Seahawks to cover. All right, next game we have the Dallas Cowboys versus the LA Chargers. Chargers are favored by 3.5. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say this. I think this game is gonna be very interesting, very close. But I think it's gonna be very offensive though. But the defenses are kind of a little sketchy. I mean, it's great, but their defenses don't really play low. So yeah, we got the Cowboys coming to LA, which I think LA is a tough place to play at. Now, when you look at the matchup here, this is the Chargers Cowboys offense versus the Chargers defense. Now we're trying to figure out if the Cowboys defense can find a way, to like stop Justin Herbert, which I think is going to be tough to do because they don't have DeMarcus Lawrence or Randy Gregory. I mean, that sucks. But I don't really think their secondary is that great at all. I don't think they have nobody in the secondary who can cover Keenan Allen. So I think Keenan Allen's going to have a big game that day. So yeah, but we can see Amari Cooper have a big game. I mean, we can see CeeDee Lamb have a big game. We can see Ezekiel Elliott do too. But you know what? I mean, I could say the Cowboys have the better O line, but the Chargers' offensive line did improve this offseason. I mean, they're gonna have to find a way to be able to like block, the Cowboys' pass rush, which I don't really know if they're gonna be able to do that because DeMarcus Lawrence is injured and all that. So yeah. While on the other side, the Cowboys, are trying to figure out how their the Cowboys are trying to figure out if their offensive line is going to be able to block Joey Bosa and all that. I mean, in order for Dallas to win this game, their offense is going to have to play well and their defense is going to have to play well too. I mean, their offense is going to have to block, Joey Bosa. And I think if the Chargers are going to win this game, I think their offensive line is going to have to block the Cowboys defenders up front. And Keenan Allen and Jared Cook, Austin Eckler might have a big game because both these two defenses don't really play as great. But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take the Chargers here because they're at home. And I just think with the Cowboys going on the road versus a Brandon Stanley defense, I mean, it's going to be very challenging. So, yeah. So, I'm going to take the Chargers to win. But I will take the 3, though, because I think they can keep this game much closer. I mean, the Cowboys, they kept the game really close when they played the Buccaneers because the offense was really playing well last week. But it's kind of tough to say who's going to cover. But you know what? I'm going to take the Cowboys to cover this game. So I'm going to say they cover the 3. But I'm going to take the Chargers to win this game, though. All right, next game we have the Chiefs versus the Ravens. Ravens are favored by 3. Chiefs are favored by 3.5, but I call it a trap game, because the Ravens lost last week in overtime versus the Raiders. I mean, they were about to win, but they couldn't do it. But on the other side, the Chiefs offense, is playing really well right now. I mean, I love how the way the Chiefs did for a comeback win after, when they were almost losing. I mean, the Ravens, they were about to win, but they blew it that game. But you know what? Both of them have a great offensive line, and I think the Ravens kind of do match well the Chiefs really good. But you know what? I think the Ravens have too many injuries right now, so I'm going to go ahead and take the Chiefs to win because I just really think the Chiefs are just the better team overall. They have the better coach. Yeah. That's pretty much why, and I think the Chiefs are going to try to control the clock and all that and try to run the ball and pass the ball. Yeah, I think the Chiefs offense is gonna score big on these points, and yeah. So I'm gonna take the Chiefs to win, but I might. This is tough to say who's gonna cover. Lamar Jackson is very, very good, and he's great at escaping pressure. Though I could say the Ravens could win this game and get their revenge, but I could say they cover. But I'm gonna go ahead and say the Ravens do cover the 3.5. But I will take the Ravens to win this game, though. I mean, I'll take the Chiefs to win this game. So, yeah, that's why. All right, next game. The Detroit Lions got to play against the Green Bay Packers. Packers are favored by 11. You know what? I'll make this one short, though. But you know what? I'm probably going to take the Packers to win because they're the better team. They have the better quarterback. They're the better coach. They're at home. I mean, seriously, I don't really know if I'm taking the Packers to cover because they played like bad last week versus that Saints. I mean, they got bullied by them. But you know what? The Lions offense been playing really well. I mean, Jared Goff did play well last week, but, they couldn't get for the comeback. While, on the other side, the Packers, their defense is really good, though. So, yeah, and their offense is okay, though. But here's the big deal. If the Packers, do not win this game or cover, they are in serious trouble. I'm just telling you right now, they are in serious trouble. And also, it's a concerning. So, yeah. So, if the Packers do not win this week, I promise you, I will not pick them for a few weeks. I'm just saying. So, yeah, I mean, I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have a big game that day. I think Devontae Adams will have a big game as well. I mean, as long as Aaron Rodgers plays well, I mean, I think the Packers do win this game. So, yeah. So, I'm going to say the Chiefs win. I'm going to go ahead and say the Packers win like 27-19, something like that. So, yeah. But I'm saying if the Packers do not win this week, I will definitely clown them throughout the rest of the year. So, yeah. That's why I'm going to say the Packers do win this game. And I'm going to say they do cover this game. But I don't know who's going to cover. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Lions cover. So I'm going to go ahead and say the Packers do cover this game. And I think they do win. Well, all right, guys. That's all my week 2 predictions for the season. So, yeah. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more options. Well, now I'm back from my trip, now I can do some, NFL predictions now. And also, don't forget that, we're still doing our NFL weekly predictions every Wednesday from now on. So you will see when new posts will come out on YouTube. So just make sure you stay tuned for that. So, yeah. Well, that's all my NFL Week 2 predictions. And don't forget, if you disagree with me, let me know in the comments section below what you think. Well, it's Emmanuel Jones for the Big Fan. Thanks for watching. See you guys later. Peace.